maybe we can recapitulate what we have done the past year, and of course our plans for this 2020. But before we proceed, I would like to ask my fellow volunteer Ed Ferrer to make his opening statement.
Good morning to all listeners of this Pagbabago program here in D3X. I would like to greet good morning to Attorney Yap Gotong, who is in annulling today. And then I would like to greet also to our fellow volunteers, June Feliciano, Albert Cayon, and Ibno Turabin, and also Rex Mirabite. Good morning to all.
But anyway, Ed, before we proceed, I would like to categorize our discussions this morning. Maybe we can start with local issues, the accomplishments of our local government units, and of course the plans and programs of our President Rodrigo Duterte for this 2020. And I'm very sure that everybody is aware that the President is really determined to solve these problems on illegal drugs, corruption, and criminality. And maybe we'll start, Ed, with the evaluation of what have been performed by our local officials the past 2019 or the past year, and maybe the past several years from the time they were elected in 2013 up to now, and they have still, I think, 2 years to go before their their 3 term will end by 2022. So maybe we can, for purposes of knowing what have they done for the city of Zamboanga, what are the things that are good for the people of the next generation as far as their accomplishments are concerned, or legacy, if they have this legacy to leave to the people after their term will expire in 2022. Initially, Ed, on local issues, what are the accomplishments that our local government units have done for the past year, 2019 lang muna. Then we will go back maybe to from 2013 when they were first elected for their 3-year term.
They have tried to introduce some new projects to the city, and up to now I notice the bridge there at Santa Cruz Island, here in Santa Cruz, have not started yet. Accordingly, the funds were already released last year. So what do you think?
Anong bridge, Ed?
Yung dyan sa Santa Cruz.
Flyover, you mean?
Flyover.
Well, actually, that was there is some sort of political sabi natin ng controversial. This is a controversial issue during the last election. But as far as the plan is concerned, I think they have started planning for it. No, they have started, in fact.
Yeah, they have expanding already the road network.
The construction of the flyover proper is still to be done by the DPWIZ. But anyway, we are glad that our fellow volunteer, Mr. Ibno Turabin, is here with us. Good morning, Ebs, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, good morning, Kuya Ed, Kuya Rex, at Happy New Year sa lahat, no? Doon sa mga masugid dating tagapakinig every Saturday. Huwag kayo umalis. Marami tayong pag-uusapan ngayon. Good morning po sa inyong lahat.
Well, we have started talking with Ed a while ago that we will try to evaluate the performance of our local officials for the year 2019. And maybe we can go back to the time when they have started their 3-year term in 2013. But initially, what have they done for the year 2019? Were there significant accomplishments that they can leave as their legacy to the people of Zamboanga? I think that is the one that we have to talk about. No? What do you think, Ibs?
So I even talked to Rex about that overflow bridge there, flyover bridge there at Santa Cruz. I heard na the funds were already released last year.
Tapos?
But until now, they have not started it yet. They are expanding the road. I don't know if they coordinated with the CAA at the airport, because that is the route of the landing of aircrafts coming to Zamboanga City.
Yeah.
Siguro yun ang problema nila.
Ang delay kasi dyan, maraming problema. No?
Accordingly,
Mga right of way, ang mga problema
accordingly, they already got the money.
nakuha ng pera. Yun ang malaking problema.
Well, actually, the funds allocated was already approved, no? Approved for implementation. In fact, before election, according to information, the sponsoring lawmaker and the implementing agency have already received their itong commissions.
Ganon.
10% for the sponsoring lawmaker and 5% to the implementing agency. This is according to Senator Lacson. Parang SOP ba? Standing Operating Procedures.
Meron ganon.
So, the amount intended for the construction of these two flyovers is something like 600 million. So, the 10% of 600 million is 60 million.
Wow,
The 5% of 600 million is 30 million. So, meaning 90 million pesos have been already given as commissions to the
So,
implementing
you
agency
mean-
and to the sponsoring lawmaker.
You mean 90 million will be deducted from the original 600 million?
Because it was already bidded.
Uh-huh.
May panalo naman sa
So,
bidding.
ganon ang SOP.
Ganun
Ganun
that was
katindi.
what I
In fact,
heard.
according to information, upon approval of the project, the contractor already advanced the commission.
Wow.
Yeah, and according to some sources, the money was already spent in the last election.
Wow.
As far as the commissions,
Pero hindi pa
are concerned.
nanalo yung
Hello.
Sunny Boy is here with us.
Magdagdag tayo ng upuan.
So, anyway, parang this is already public knowledge now even before election. But we are just trying to recapitulate ba yung review of what happened in 2019. But before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge our usual guest, the number one kagawad of Tituan, kagawad
Sunny Boy Jalani.
Good morning, Johnny Boy, and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Colonel Rex. Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Ibs. Maraming salamat. Nandito tayo ulit. Nagkita-kita as salubungin natin ang bagong taon. Sabihin natin na we welcome 2020 with hope. Saka yung pag-asa talaga na gaganda ang ating buhay.
The year of the rat.
So, this is
Year of the rat.
So again,
Pero
thank you so much.
Chinese, the Chinese believe in this. The year of the rat 2020. Sa atin masama yung rat eh.
Di may kasabihan dyan na Ebro. There's a saying that it is better to be a head of a mouse than to be a tail of an elephant.
Ang pala.
So magaling pa rin basta ulo ka kahit na daga basta ulo, no?
Basta ulo.
Kahit anong kaliit ng hayop basta ikaw ang ulo, you are
Kahit
better.
wala ulo ng dilis, ano?
Yeah.
Basta ulo.
Basta may utak. Basta may utak.
Huwag
Ang problema
lang
lang,
ikikilis lang utak,
ako
ano?
walang utak ko.
Sa bagay.
So,
Ibahin natin.
tama yung sinabi ni Eddie tungkol sa yung flyover, no? That was the budget was already approved and di ba Ebs, no? But because of political controversy, mayroong mga road expansion ang recommendation ng local government, which up to now it has not been completed. So as far as the road expansion is concerned, habang hindi pa matapos yan, the flyover cannot start. So siguro sabi ng iba, hintayin natin kapag mayor na si Silso. They are hoping against hope that the flyover will be implemented only when Silso becomes mayor. But anyway, mahabang kan yun, malabo ang ano yun ang implication. So for the meantime, we have to wait, di ba?
And the
DPWH.
priority kasi ng ating gobyerno for this year is yung traffic congestion.
Yun.
Yun ang priority na for the year.
So until now, I don't see any solution yet to the traffic problem that we have here in the city. The one we were proposing before is already a solution. Make municipalities and decongest the city.
Well, itong flyover, parang kung lang ito, palliatives ba? Temporary band-aid ba? But this is not the, sabihin natin, final solution for the traffic congestion. This is
Long-term solution.
No. This is short-term, yeah. At saka, you can just imagine, while you are on top of the flyover, you are comfortable. But when you go down, you go back to
The same.
a very narrow road.
Ilang minuto lang nandoon sa flyover. 5 minutes lang yata, wala pa.
Tawag nila dyan, short time Short time ba? Short.
Hindi ko alam yung Kuya Rex.
Short.
I'm not familiar with that
comfort.
term.
Yung, kasi doon sa taas, mga ilang minuto ka lang doon, di ba?
Pero pagbaba mo,
short term, para short term.
again, you will be in the middle of traffic.
Babalik ka sa dati, no? Babalik ka sa dati, masikip. Doon sa taas, comfortably ka. But when you go down, balik ka naman sa dating masikip na daan before you can cross itong bridge ng yung sa
Can you imagine, Rex, I came from my office at Lavinia Hotel. I turned here in Canelar and diretso doon sa Canelar sa KCC, then back to my office. It took me 46 minutes because of the traffic.
and that is aggravating every day, you know. Our traffic problem is aggravating because unang-una, there are so many people who can afford to buy cars now. Kasi ang mga sasakyan wala ng down payment di ba? You can just pay the monthly installment and isa pa dyan, dumadami ng tao dito sa city proper at saka the problem with our city is that we failed to develop the far from barangays that the people there were constrained to come over to the city proper to look for employment and job opportunities, leaving behind their lands. In fact, most of their lands now in the far-flung areas have already been sold to our fellow Filipinos who are managed people from Basolta, Basilan, Sulong, Tawi-Tawi. So, we are now actually disposing the lands of Zamboanga City to our neighboring Filipinos who are sabi natin who have enough money to buy the properties of Zamboanga City. So, ibig sabihin dito na because of the failure of our local officials to develop the parang barangays, people now are selling their lands. The vibes?
Asan yung slogan nung last election? I will not sell Zamboanga. Di ba? Hindi yung bende ko ng Zamboanga.
Yeah.
Para bang kanya yung Zamboanga, no?
Wala namang
Kasi may-ari ng mga lupa, hindi mo mapigilan yan.
the
Kung walang
politicians have no personality to say that because they do not own Zamboanga. They were just elected by the people. But the owners of the lands and the far-flung barangays cannot be stopped by in selling their lands because of lack of job opportunities while they are there. So what will they do there? They have the lands but there is no business, no income. So ang gagawin nila, they will sell their lands and what is sabi na masakit na katotohanan, the naked truth is that after selling their lands, they remain there as tenants, workers, and laborers. Yun ang masakit, di ba? You are a former owner, then you become laborer because wala nang mapuntahan After selling their lands, where will they go? They come over to the city proper, mag-tricycle or mag-drive ng pedicab or tricycle. So they might as well stay there with the condition that they will sell the lands to you but they will remain there as workers and laborers. Yan ang pinakamasakit na parte ng
ang dumadami doon, habal-habal drivers.
Yun na nga. That's why in greeting the Happy New Year to our radio audience, I would like to remind them our proposal to convert Zamboanga into a province. That is the best proposal.
Ganito, hindi convert ang Zamboanga, but create
a province out of make municipalities like in the West Coast, Labuan and Ayala, in the East Coast, Bitali, Curuan, and Manikaan.
And the city of Zamboanga will remain
a city.
as a highly urbanized city.
Kasi they were talking about creating a new congressional district.
Yeah.
There is no need. When this new province will be created, there is no need because District 1 will have their congressman,
District 2.
District 2 will have their congressman, then the city will have their congressman.
We are hitting 3 birds
Yeah.
in one stone.
And the only way to decongest, to my mind,
Yan ang gusto natin iparating sa
now, New Year
tao
ngayon,
sa
Pitsa
Zamboanga,
4
dito sa
ngayon.
Zamboanga.
Want to remind the radio listeners to help us in trying to promote this intention.
As si Sunny Boy, you are from Basilan, and you know Basilan was converted into province 1973. What are the advantages when Basilan became a province from a city to a province with 7 municipalities initially, and now we have 2 cities and 11 towns in Basilan Island?
Well, ito naman hindi natin maipagkakaila, no? Kasi ito'y katotohanan. Kasi noon, ang alam natin, ang Basilan, parang kung baga, ano yan it's like a jungle at that time.
Yeah.
Pero look what is Basilan now. Very progressive. You go to Isabela, you go to Lamitan, including other province, ay yung mga municipalities. Ano na very progressive yung kanilang mga daan, sementado na. Unlike noon, lubak-lubak na, mabato pa. Mahirap daanan ng mga sasakyan, but today, pupunta ka roon.
In 2 hours, you can
Yes.
go around Basilan.
So, kung baga,
Dati, 10
nakikita
hours.
natin ito talaga, malaki ang pagbabago.
Well, actually, I have personal knowledge about Basilan because 1971 I was assigned there. It was a jungle city, no? But anyway, at that time, although the city was very peaceful, no, before the outbreak of rebellion, but it has never been developed as it is developed now when it became a province. But anyway, ito naman Isabela sa Kalamitan, these are the 2 districts, populated districts of the city of Basilan before, but when it was converted into a province, this Isabela and Lamitan and other areas became municipalities. After 10 years, Isabela became a city, then followed by Lamitan, you know. So, with 2 cities now and 11 municipalities, we can say that Basilan now is fully developed. We have roads with from Lamitan to Tubran, Tipo-Tipo, Sumisip, Malusod down to Isabela. In how many hours you can
In 2
go
hours, you can go
Before,
around
it will
Basilan.
take you 10
10.
hours to go around. Well, Ebs is from Basilan, si Saniboy is from Basilan. I've stayed in Basilan for more than 10 years. Ed is also from Basilan. So, or more or less, we have personal knowledge how Basilan was developed and how Basilan progressed.
And if Basilan can do it, so why can't we?
Ito naman Zamboanga, no? Ebs, Saniboy, and Ed. For the past 60 years, I have been traveling Pagadian to Zamboanga starting 1960s, no? And while Zamboanga del Sur was still intact before the creation of Sibugay, the towns there were already progressive, and there were barangays there that were converted into towns like Artilim, Naga, yung Imilda,
Kabasalan.
Lahan, Payao. Kabasalan is one of the original municipalities of Zamboanga del Sur. Original dyan yung Tungawan, Titay, Ipil, Kabasalan, CI, of course Buog, Malangas, Alicia, and the towns of Olutanga. But what happened after several years? The barangay of Diplahan became a town, now a very progressive town where the governor comes from there. Imilda was Santa Fe barangay before, now it is a progressive town. Then followed by Naga, a small barangay before, but now it is a progressive municipality. And of course Artilim, which was Surabay before, now it is a progressive town after Tungawan going to Ipil. Di ba, Ebs? So these are the advantages if a province is created, because there will be faster development and delivery of basic services to the people. Kasi the smaller the area, the easier to develop.
So ang problema, how can we engage and get the all-out support of the people of Zamboanga dito sa plano ng pagbabago movement? See? Yun ang kailangan
Well,
makuha.
actually,
Yung
dito
suporta
sa
ng
atin,
mga tao.
We are just proposing this for the future of the people of Zamboanga City, because if we cannot succeed in creating a province, there will be chaos and disorder in the city proper few years from now because of so much congestion and overpopulation of the city proper, and there is continuous increase of vehicles. We have now around 80,000 motorcycles, we have 10,000 four-wheel vehicles, we have around 5,000 tricycles, then aggravated by the production of kuliglig. We have more than 2,000 kuligligs now, then PD cabs plus abal-abal. I tell you, these are the problems that will create more sabi natin monster to the city of Zamboanga, to the city proper of Zamboanga, if we will not be able to solve the problem on traffic congestion by creating a province outside the 10 kilometer radius of the city. Diba? Saniboy, you are from Tituan, but anyway, Tituan will remain a part of the city
of
proper.
the city, yes.
We are talking of the 10 kilometer radius outside the Zamboanga City.
Kasi meron kasi malaki talaga nakikita natin Ilok, Basilan. Ngayon ang mga municipal mayors ng Basilan, makikita mo yung mga structures nila doon ang gaganda. Do you think those people, pag hindi na nagawang probinsya ang Basilan, those people would not stay there in Basilan? They would come to Zamboanga City looking for a better opportunity.
Yeah.
Dahil meron ng doon, municipality, maganda na. May building doon, kumbaga may gobyerno doon. So instead of coming to Zamboanga City, nandoon sila sa Basilan, developing yung kanilang lugar.
The provincial capital is being constructed at Santa Clara. Maganda.
Na pag hindi nangyari yun, what would happen? Those people would be coming to Zamboanga City. Magkakaroon ngayon ng congestion ulit. Looking for better opportunity. Of course, pag nandito sila, baka may mga negosyo sila ilalagay rito.
There are so many things that Basilan have started when it became a province. Especially yung state college. When that state college was created, so many local boys have enrolled there.
The same, pag hindi na-develop yun, yung mga estudyante doon, pupunta ng Zamboanga City.
Correct.
They would add to the congestion of human congestion in Zamboanga City. Because of the development, instead of coming here, nandoon sila sa kanilang lugar.
Like Zamboanga City, if we are successful in our program ng pagbabago, suppose there will be some colleges at Bitali. People from Bitali will no longer come to the city.
Well, actually, that is expected to happen if there are developments in the far from barangays. Like, for example, in Zamboanga del Sur. Zamboanga del Sur was one province before. Then, in 2001, Sibugay was created. So, the towns of Zamboanga del Sur were reduced to only 26, before 41. But now, because of the smaller area that they are tending to, almost all towns in Zamboanga del Sur have their state colleges.
Yeah, they have their colleges.
Almost the big towns of Del Sur, they don't need to go to Sami City, Pangan City, Cebu City, even to Zamboanga City to study, because they have their own colleges there. And that will happen to Zamboanga City if there is a province. Maybe Bitali can have their college there.
Labuan,
Sangali, Labuan, and Ayala, Kulyanan. So, this will more or less solve. This is the only solution to the problem of the city proper right now.
Well, ako, whether or not meron silang state colleges, ako, may eskwela ako.
Meron yan
doon sa Buenacapok. Organic farming, school, ha?
Yeah.
Take note. Yung gusto mag-aral ng organic farming,
punta ka sa Buenacapok. Andala kun Ibn Turabin.
Well, that is a great contribution to not only to the city but to the entire region. In fact, you have been going around Mindanao and you have expanded that program on organic farming not only in Zamboanga City or in Region 9 but throughout Mindanao and even throughout the Philippines. I know you have been going there around, di ba? What are your observations in these different provinces in Mindanao compared with the progress of Zamboanga City?
Well, palagay ko malayo. No? Malayo. In fact, sabi ko, napag-iwanan ng Zamboanga ng mga 30 years ng Davao City, ng Cagayan de Oro City. Kumbaga, ang Zamboanga City, ngayon pa lang nag-uumpisa, no? It was like Cagayan de Oro City 20 years ago. Ang Zamboanga City ngayon. Considering the fact, ang Zamboanga City became a chartered city even ahead than Davao by 29 days to be exact. Nauna pa ang Zamboanga City naging chartered city kaysa Davao. Pero napag-iwanan tayo ng at least 30 years. Even the newly created city of General Santos, malayo. You see?
To my observation, not only 30 years but around 50 years, because in 1974 I was assigned to Davao.
Pa yung akin eh.
Yeah. Davao was only as big as Zamboanga. In fact, Zamboanga City was even better because we have already 3-star hotel, itong Bait Hotel before. But in Davao, they have that rotten old Apu View Hotel, no? They do not have big hotels there. And the size of the city is almost the same with the city of Zamboanga. And after 50 years, we are also behind by 50 years in development. We are behind by 30 years in Cagayan de Oro, maybe 30 years in General Santos City. I'm saying this because I have been there before these cities became progressive. 1967, I was in Cagayan de Oro City. Cagayan de Oro City was a very small city. Only they have that Diversoria commercial center. And then, of course, dito sa Lapasan, the entire city was muddy and sabi natin na kangkungan ba, itong Lipingkit kay ngayon puro kangkong yun araw. So talking of development, they have done the development very much faster than Zamboanga. Imagine as far as the present progress is concerned compared with Cagayan de Oro and Zamboanga, we are behind by around 30 years as far as Cagayan de Oro City is concerned, on even General Santos City. But Davao, we are 50 years behind in development and progress.
Alam niyo sa Davao Norte, yung sa Tagum City, I tell you, malayo ang ano natin.
You know, I finished my college at Tagum.
Yung provincial capital nila, Australian architect ang nag-design, is more than 1 billion worth ang building ng provincial capital ng Davao Norte. Kailan lang yan? Compared sa Zamboanga. Even Panabo City. Pumunta kayo doon. Because if you go to Tagum, dadaan ka ng Panabo City.
Panabo.
I tell you, yung lawak ng, lapad ng kalsada nila, ng road nila, napakalaki. You see?
Actually, there are 3 cities
tayo, taga Zamboanga, pag napupunta tayo dito sa mga lugar.
Diba, there are 3 cities, no? Panabo, Tagum, and Samal Island City.
Yeah.
There are 3 cities in that small province, compared with Zamboanga City, but very small lang.
And then, pumunta ka dito sa Davao Sur, Digos. I tell you, very fast. Ang development ng Digos City. You see? And they just created a new province again. Davao Occidental. Hinati yung Davao Sur. In other words, hindi sila selfish na gawin yun. Because they are creating more opportunities.
I hope the politicians
dito hindi
here in Zamboanga City will think similar.
Sila lang ang kilalaning leader. Wala nang iba. They do not like to develop other Zamboangueños who also deserve to become leaders. Because pag naging probinsya ito, wala namang maging governor dyan, Ed. Walang maging provincial board member taga Luzon, taga Visayas. Taga Zamboanga rin yan. Mga Alvarez, mga Alavar, mga Atilano, Alfaro, Rodriguez, what have you. Sila rin ang
Jalani.
magiging leaders dyan.
Jalani, Mirabite,
Hindi yan.
Turabin.
Wala naman tayong ambisyon
Wala
na-
tayo dyan.
But anyway, binanggit ni Ebs ang Davao, no? In 1974, there were only 3 provinces in Davao. And that was, these were Del Sur, Del Norte, and Oriental. But later on, they created Compostela Valley, which is now being renamed as Davao de Oro. And Davao Occidental was recently created also out of sa Davao del Sur, di ba? Then dito banda sa Jose Abad Santos, that is part of Occidental, and itong Malita, Hagunoy. So meaning before Davao del Sur was not a very big province, but why is it that they divided into to hasten development in the far-flung barangays? So now with the 5 the provinces in Davao, they are now very progressive because initially the population was distributed evenly in the 5 provinces with 6 cities, and Davao City, of course, is the most developed area in Davao. In Davao province. Before, there was only 1 province of Davao before, di ba? Aside from Davao City, there was only 1 province. Now that 1 province now became 5 provinces with 6 cities including Davao City.
Kasi ang ano kasi dyan, ito mga leaders na, they really do not have the time to look into the concerns, issues, problems of these far-flung barangays. Ito na lang sa amin, no? Ang lapit-lapit sa city. It's only 15 kilometers away. Ha? Alam mo, tinanong ko last election, nagkampanya doon, mga kandidato. Sabi ko, ilang beses nyo nakita yung mga konsehal na hindi? Sir, 3 years ago. Can you imagine that? 3 years ago. Saka sila makikita doon sa mga barangays. Yan, 15 kilometers away lang. What about yung 70 kilometers away?
Likomo.
80 kilometers away from the city proper.
Kaya nga, lest that we will be misunderstood, ano? What we are talking is about the entirety, yung kabuuan ng Zamboanga City. Kasi baka sabihin nila, Zamboanga City is very progressive. Tignan ninyo yung traffic. It's a sign of progress. Pero ang ano natin, ang topic natin is the entirety, kabuuan ng Zamboanga City. Kung dito lang sa city, maari. Pero tignan natin yung mga malalayong lugar. Vitali, Curuan, yung Sangali, and dito sa West Coast naman, yung Labuan, pababa, Ayala. Ito ang sinasabi natin na dapat talaga ma-develop. Paano ito ma-develop? Hindi na kasi naabot ng mata. Ano man ang hindi naabot ng ating mata, hindi na natin nakikita. So, hindi na masyadong napagtuunan ng pansin. Ito ang dapat nating i-develop.
Tama.
Zamboanga City, yung sa city proper, sabi nga nila, somebody came from Manila. The impression is, sabi niya, Zamboanga City is very progressive dahil sa traffic. You're only talking about the city proper. How about for those, yung mga areas o yung mga barangays na masyadong malayo na? Walang
Actually,
masyadong
on the
development.
contrary, it is not a sign of progress. That is a sign of neglect on the part of the local officials to develop the far-flung barangays.
Yun,
That's why
yeah.
there is traffic congestion. We are
Dito kasi
we are a very big
nag-ipon-ipon
city
lahat.
with 1,000
But Rex,
1,000 square kilometers.
I will tell you, the only highly urbanized city in the Philippines with a tricycle inside,
Yeah.
Zamboanga City.
Wala kasi gustong magbiyahe ng tricycle doon.
Hindi, iba. Yung mga politicians before, they do not want to touch the tricycle because of the boats.
Yeah, boats, yes.
Well, masabi natin na Zamboanga is a highly urbanized city, but on the other hand, it is also highly backward. Where can you find a city with pedicabs converted into kulig legs, abal-abal, tricycles? Then we call it highly urbanized. We are highly urbanized as far as population is concerned. But when it comes to development, we are very much behind.
In other
backward.
highly urbanized city, Rex, I noticed, tricycles are only used in subdivisions. Then bring passenger to the main road, then bring inside. Never in the city.
You don't see that in Makati City. In Manila City.
No. The only highly urbanized city.
Yeah.
Zamboanga.
Precisely nga.
Even in Cebu, you will not notice that. In Cebu.
Actually, we can say that we are still backward. In fact, instead of modernizing our transport system, we are returning back to fifth class municipality by producing more pedicabs and colleagues. You can just imagine, pedicab is modernized into colleague, di ba? Then our tricycle, there is modernization by changing the body of the old tricycles. But talking of sabi natin ng long range plan for the city, we are returning back to fifth class municipality where you can find pedicabs, colleagues, abal-abal, tricycles. You see, it is only sa mga city where you can seldom find a taxi. Di ba, Ibs? You have been around around Mindanao, around the Philippines. Where can you find more pedicabs, more colleagues, more abal-abals in a highly urbanized city?
Only in Zamboanga City.
Ablay ko rin sa mga hente, numasyate di munta kuliglig. Kaya nuay si insurance. Kung mga Zamboangueño kintawi ko na este programa, pabor, numamunta ko rin si kuliglig. Kaya nuay ka rin si insurance?
Yes, because colleagues are only used for personal use and for cargo purposes. But the way they are producing now, granting permits to colleague, it is more of a transport system where most of the passengers are students and pupils. Di ba?
Di kon todo mucho at kuliglig kami rin at tugbungan.
Anywhere in the city.
Di mo na dagat. Mira takil tugbungan, ano?
That's why we wrote a letter to the city administrator as to what coordination they have done with the LTO, because LTO was the one who granted permits to this colleague. As to what coordination who will be enforcing the law, because colleague is legal if it is used for personal use, but the moment it is used for ferrying passengers, that becomes illegal, and who are supposed to be responsible in the implementation of the law as far as the illegal operations of colleague is concerned. What do you think, Ebs? Bakit it is Zamboanga City now is proliferated with colleagues?
Well, again, tulad ng sinabi ni Ed, ay malaking boto yan eh.
Sa boto.
So, ang mga politiko natin, hindi talaga yung kikibo.
Pareho yan sa holo before. Matagal ang holo, walang tricycle. All kuliglig lang. Sabi ko, bakit? Sabi nila, because this kuliglig, they pay taxes to the mayor. They don't go to the LTO.
Ganun.
Sa holo. Pero ngayon, I don't know. Well, mayroon lang mga tricycle. Noon wala. Maski isa. Mga 1970s, wala. Because they pay the fee to the mayor. Directly to the mayor, not the LTO.
So, ang bottom line dyan, Ed, it's either income generating at saka vote generating.
Dito sa Zamboanga, I heard because of the vote of the tricycle. That's why maintained ang tricycle.
Well, actually, ang ginagawa dito, no? They are making violations on ordinances and laws as their means of revenues. They are proud to say that they have collected millions of pesos for the past several months out of the violations committed by our law. The purpose of the law is to create orderliness in the community and to educate, enlighten the people about the law. But the moment there are more violators than the law-abiding citizens, that is a failure on the part of the local government. Di ba? Why will you make these people violating the law as your source of income?
Siguro hasta el Tetuan hindi na siya pwede man tricycle alias sa mga grande syudad.
Manada tamin siyempre kulig-ligal eh.
Na Tetuan di po kulig-lig.
So we are backward in many ways as far as Zamboanga City is concerned. We are very backward. We are equivalent to a fifth class municipality. Kung titingnan mo yung condition ng city natin, the only city with lubak-lubak roads right in the heart of the city, it's just only Zamboanga. You go to Pagadian, you go to Dipolog, you go to Cagayan, Jensan, Davao, Iloilo, Cebu, Bacolod. Hindi mo makita yung condition ng karsada dito sa city. Di ba? Bakit ganito we have been kagawad of dito? Bakit ganito ang karsada natin sa Niboy na right in the heart of the city, puro lubak-lubak?
Well, ito kasi kahit saan natin tignan, may talaga pagkukulang ang ating gobyerno. Kasi pag nakita na natin ganito, dapat ayusin natin. We have to be very sensitive. Tignan natin ang pangangailangan ng tao. Looking always at the general welfare of our inhabitants.
Siguro walang coordination ang city pati ang water district.
Bakit hindi lubak-lubak? Pag naghukay ang water district,
Yun na nga.
tapos hukayin, hindi ibabalik sa dati, di ba? Iwanan, pabayaan. Pag naghukay ang Samselco, ganun din.
And
Wala
I,
namang
what
hinuhukay ang
I
Samselco
heard,
pala,
the
no?
water
Sa
district
taas.
now is increasing the rate.
Ang water district talaga
Water
ang may
district.
hinuhukay.
Which
Pagkatapos
I
hukayin,
heard
iwanan lang, di ba?
si
Kuya Rex?
Manix Dalipe and Jao Jimenez is against.
Wala naman gusto ng yung water rate. Pero ang water district naman may mga justification because kailangan daw nila yan to improve o kaya yung serbisyo nila. The same yung reason. Every time na mag-increase sila for kung baga para sa kabutihan ng kanilang serbisyo.
Well, anyway, our time is 7:45, no? I would like to greet my friend in Pagadian City, the former provincial auditor of Basilan, sa Sir Mr. Eliasar Mantos, and of course my brother in Lamitan, and all other in-laws in Lamitan na Basilan. I have friends there, no? I have been assigned Basilan for more than 10 years. Yung consolidated assignment ko dyan sa Basilan. Pinakamatagal kong assignment sa Basilan. In fact, if I recall, no, I would like to inform our people of Basilan who have already forgotten what happened in 1972. January 2, the other day was the 47th year victory anniversary of the
Colonia.
Battle of Campo Uno. Where many people there have already forgotten just Lamitan, especially those in Lamitan na medyo at the time many of
Dapat
them were
pala,
not yet born.
It calls for a big celebration, Kuya Rex, no? Kasi you're still
one,
very much
one,
alive.
one of the one who helped him, a young boy, 9-year-old.
Yes.
He's the manager now of Banco de Oro, BDO, at Canelar. Si Roger Francisco.
Yeah, the son of the late Attorney Francisco.
Yeah, he was the one putting
Roger-
bullet in the...
Roger Francisco was with us in
In the
Campo
magazine.
Uno. He was with his
Dapat,
grandfather at the time.
Reenactment. Hindi ba?
Then he is now a manager of Banco de Oro.
Well, of course, we are glad that the people of Lamitan at that time were very supportive. If not because of the civilian volunteers who supported us in the Battle of Campo Uno, we could have failed in that particular event because there was no reinforcement coming from our AP or from the police at the time, the 4th Precision, because the entire Mindanao was in trouble. So we did not expect to. We were told, in fact, to consolidate our forces in Colonia. We were told to withdraw from Campo Uno, which I declined, and I disobeyed that order because while it is true that is for the safety of our soldiers, but how about the safety of the populace? We have that sworn duty to secure the people and to protect the territorial integrity of the country. But if we will just concentrate in our own camp to secure our camp, we will not be able to perform our duties, di ba? So I did not follow that order. Although I know that if we failed in that battle, I could have been charged for disobedience before General Court Martial. And during the war, if you are charged for disobedience, you know the penalty is firing squad. But I did not think of that. My only thinking was we have to protect the people of Lamitan and Basilan for that matter. Ibno was there. I think you were already.
I was already in Manila.
Oh yeah, but you go to Basilan from time to time.
Yeah, every now and then.
It was there.
Ako.
I was there when you were awarded at the Warp, Isabela Warp. He was awarded by the President.
Plano ko nga isa pelikula itong buhay ni Kuya Rex.
Yun na nga.
Yeah.
Sunny Boy was into Boy Lobang at that time.
Yes.
So more or less, the three of us have personal knowledge
Kasi
of
yung
what
mga
happened.
ibang kalaban sa kabilang side, buhay pa rin hanggang ngayon.
We consider them as our yesterday's enemies. Di ba? But
Today's
anyway, yung
friends.
plano mo, Ebs, I think, anyway, that is not for personal, but for the people to know, for the next generation,
Yes,
what
exactly.
happened in Basilan.
What happened?
When was the outbreak of rebellion? The outbreak of rebellion started when we were successful in the defense of Campo Ono. That was it also signaled the start of rebellion in Mindanao. After the MLA failed to capture Lamitan and Isabela, their purpose was actually to control the entire city of Basilan at that time. It was a city where the seat of government was Isabela. So anyway, nakaraan naman sa atin, just to recall ba and remind our people in Basilan.
Rex is a soldier. He is assigned in so many places. Pero I know Basilan is the best place for him because he was able to find his wife in Lamitan.
That's proof enough.
Or
No?
I was discovered
Na
by
talagang-
my wife.
Yeah, he was discovered by his wife in Lamitan.
But anyway,
Hindi siya nakadiscover, ha?
that could be one of the reasons why I insisted that we have to protect Lamitan at the time. Because Campo Ono was the entry point. That is very strategic, di ba, Sunny Boy? Entrance of the rebels from Tuburan, from Tipo, and from Sumisid. Had we withdrawn in Campo Ono, they could have proceeded to Lamitan freely and to Isabela. But we did not give up Campo Ono. That's the reason why we really protected that area, because that is the entry point. Without Campo Ono being blocked, they can go freely and they could have captured the entire Basilan, especially the seat of the city government in Isabela. But these are just, sabi natin, a recollection of what happened before, no? That was 47 years ago. Parang kahapon lang. Many people were not yet born at that time. Many Basinians were not yet born at that time. Many of them do not know. But we are just trying to remind them of this simple history that happened in Basilan 47 years ago. But anyway, I think we have still 10 minutes to go, and we will try to recapitulate what PAGBABAGO have done for the past year, no, 2019. As far as the programs of the government under President Duterte are concerned. Ano ba nagawa natin? Just to recall and let people know that at least we have done something as PAGBABAGO volunteers. And I would like to start that as far as the performance of local officials, we have been monitoring them, and we have filed a case against the PWD director for neglect of duty in that bypass road and the construction of that Enriquez Sports Complex. We have filed a case against sa mga City Water District for neglect of duty for not restoring the cutting of roads for water connection. We have filed a case against the CSW City Social Welfare Development for neglect of duty for not minding the mentally drenched people going around freely in the city proper, half naked, sometimes almost naked, and of course the rounding up of mendicants and rugby boys that have been neglected by the CSWD. These are some of the accomplishments of the PAGBABAGO for 2019, Ibs.
Yes, and also yung plano natin na slowly pinapaliwanag natin sa mga tao the need to create another province in order to have a long range solution
To bring the government
problem.
closer
Yes,
to the
closer
people.
to the people. And the problem of traffic, the problem of overpopulation sa city. So, yun ang naisip ng PAGBABAGO grupo natin.
And I want also, being a member of the PAGBABAGO, I want to remind the people of Basilan, huwag magbet doon sa illegal na STL.
We have the legal
We have the legal STL, you bet on the legal.
so there are two STL, legal and illegal.
Na yung illegal, nagsasakay-sakay lang doon sa legal. I will be going to Basilan this coming Monday.
So
To check.
actually mas popular ang illegal kaysa legal, di ba?
Because in the illegal, malaki man ang binibigay sa agent. Pero alam mo ang legal, what is good about the legal? Kasi we can assist the public sa mga health problems. PCSO can assist. We are assisting the public. Ayan ang pagbabago.
But anyway, Ebs, how do you size up the performance of our local officials? We are all from Zamboanga City. The Filipino people own the city of Zamboanga, whether you are from the north or from the south. If you become a resident of Zamboanga City, you are one of the stakeholders. What do you think are the accomplishments of the local officials that will be remembered by the people of Zamboanga City even for the next generation, if there is any?
I actually could not imagine anything that would really be considered na extraordinary performance, no, as public servants, no. Wala akong masyadong nakikita. Or maybe as far as they're concerned, they have done their best. But as far as I am concerned, ang nakikita ko lang yung KCC, malaking pagbabago.
At
saka yung SM na
magbubukas na daw. Ngayon, February daw.
You see. Aside from that, wala masyado extraordinary na masasabi nating people of Zamboanga will not forget.
Meaning,
Wala.
everything is routinary,
Yeah.
routinary. Like this year, the issuance of business permits, that's very routine, that's very ordinary, di ba? Developments here in Zamboanga City were initiated by the private sector and not a government-initiated project for the development of the entire city of Zamboanga. What are the government-initiated projects here in the city? As far as we can remember, there's nothing as far as I know. Initiated by the government for development, except ito mga expansion of malls. These are all considered private sector initiative. Di ba? But talking of government initiative, we cannot even effectively transfer the Tituan police station to another area. Up to now, the city jail is still under construction, which is questionable. Now we are talking about the airport. How can you, malit na bagay na mo kaya, yung malalaki pa? Meron kasabihan na, the big jobs of tomorrow are for the ones who are doing the small jobs of today the best they can. Malit na bagay pa lang di mo kaya. Lalo na yung malaking bagay, di ba? If you can plant kamote, how can you plant durian or exotic fruit trees?
Except I heard na bigyan daw nila ng priority yung urban gardening. Ay, dyan, interesado ako dyan. Kasi may plano ako noon sa Tetuan at sa Katugbugan.
Yeah, that is
joint partnership sa urban gardening.
Yeah.
That we can help, Kuya Rex.
For home consumption.
Yung bang bawat bahay pwede magtanim ng sarili niyang kailangan sa kusina.
Kailangan
Gulay,
organic
kamatis,
na yan. Organic.
Diba? Yes. That pwede tayo tumulong dyan.
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Makakatulong tayo.
Well, that is
Together
very
with this
loud and
program
bold,
and everything.
that is
Maybe
very
through
loud
Sunny
and
Boy
bold.
sa Tetuan, pwede niya i-open ito sa kasamahan niya. Anyway,
Yeah.
mayroon nando pa sa akin yung draft.
The barangay chairman naman is very supportive.
Yeah.
In fact, we even talked yesterday with the barangay chairman at nabanggit ko yung programa rito. I even mentioned si Ibs. Sinabi ni Cap Walbert. Very very supportive naman sa, especially sa kabutihan ng mga inhabitants ng Tetuan. Lang naman.
Well, actually, equally important is programs, long-range programs of the city that will eventually solve the nagging problem or aggravating problem of traffic congestion, overpopulation in the city proper.
Especially by Monday. Na yan? Pasukan na naman yan. Ngayon, hindi masyado ang traffic ngayon, pero by Monday, Balik naman sa
Ito,
eskwela.
actually, as of now, there is no solution to this unless we create a province outside the 10-kilometer radius. But anyway, hindi naman sabi natin parang sili na anghang kagad yan. When we create a province outside the 10-kilometer radius, it will not immediately solve the traffic problem of Zamboanga City. It will be done gradually. Maybe for the next 10 to 20 years, dahan-dahan, babawasan ang traffic dito. Pero hindi naman sabi natin ng bigla. But had we created a province 20 years ago, this problem in the city now will not be experienced. Diba, Ibs? What do you think?
Yeah, that would be the immediate solution. Immediate kasi pag mayroong created na province, no? Immediate ang impact, ang result. You see? Kasi ito mga LGUs na makikreate could have a direct hand sa development ng kanilang lugar. And they could negotiate outside of Zamboanga City sa mga national leadership, see, national line agencies. They can go directly already, not passing through the city. Yun ang pinaka-importante doon. You see? Maraming mabibigyan ng role to play. Kasi kung maraming maglalaro, maraming magtutulungan, mabilis ang development. Kung isa ka lang, ang laki-laki ng area, ang layo-layo, do not have the time to go there and ask those people there, ano bang problema nyo? In fact, dumarating lang sila doon. 3 years. Pag election time lang. Now, how can you expect these people to help develop those far-flung barangays? Diba?
That is precisely the reason why there are 5 provinces in Davao, no? Because Davao City alone, without the 5 provinces, cannot afford to develop the entire Davao region, di ba? And of course, dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula, before we have only 1 province in 1950s. In 1952, Zamboanga Peninsula was created. So we have 2 provinces. In 2001, Sibugay was created. So we have 3 provinces there. But last year, Zamboanga Hermosa is to be created in Zamboanga del Norte. So we will have 4 provinces in Zamboanga Peninsula from just 1 province before. The purpose is to hasten development, to make development faster, and to make the delivery of basic services easier to the people. Ganun ang purpose ng creation ng communities.
Madali kasi i-develop pag maliit lang yung lugar na i-develop mo.
Yeah.
Kasi pag malaki, hindi mo na mabigyan ng pansin. Kaya yung medyo malayo, kumbaga, may kasabihan tayo, pag malayo ka sa kusina, hindi ka masyadong magkakaroon ng grasya.
Palawan was being divided into 3 provinces, from 1 province to 3 provinces in Palawan. Of course, Cotabato has only 1 province before. Now we have 5 provinces in Cotabato, and while we are talking more of these problems of development,
Lumampas na tayo sa oras.
lumampas tayo sa oras. But anyway, maroon pa tayong mga 5 minutos siguro. So, itong atin dito sa pagbabago, we would like to enjoin the people na makipagbahagi sila sa ating pagbabago program ng Presidente, makisama sila, makikooperate sila, lalo na sa yung monitors mga performance ng public servants natin, yung pinaka-importante na ng Presidente. In fact, the President was saying that we have so many in-hotel offices, but Ibno said no, the offices are not in-hotel, but the people running the offices are
Exactly.
in-hotel. So
Yung
that is
mga tao doon.
one of the responsibilities of a citizen. We have the right to monitor the performance of public servants. Without us, the President cannot do it alone. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Well, our kagawa there is more knowledgeable as far as
Well,
local government is concerned.
Wala naman. In fact, ang isang makita natin malaking tulong ng ang pagbabago program, nagising ng ang pagbabago program, nagising niya ang mga tao sa gobyerno na natutulog. Yun ang doon. Itong malaking contribution ng ang pagbabago.
Tayo ang sumusunod naman sa programa ng ating Presidente na tulungan natin siya sa pamamagitan ng pagmamanman sa mga ating mga public servants. Sabi ni Presidente ba, we are your workers of government, you are our employers. Meaning tayo mga taxpayers, tayo yung employer niya ng mga public servants natin. So, may karapatan tayo ng magmanman at saka batsyagan whatever is needed there in order to monitor the performance of public servants. If they have poor performance, we have the right to bring the matter to the attention of our authorities. In fact, we have been doing that in the Pagbabago. We have filed cases against public offices who have been remiss in the performance of their duties.
Unfortunately, Kuya Rex, yung mga tao sa gobyerno, lalo na yung mga officials, they don't feel that way. They feel they are kings, queens. They feel like they're sultans, Hindi nila
They never think that they are servants.
They don't feel they are public servants. No.
That's why we are telling them that you are nobody. You are not somebody if you are in public service. You are a public servant. Di ba? That has to be corrected. Kapag nakaupo sa opisina nila, akala mo sila na may-ari ng opisina. Kapag nakasasakay sa sasakyan ng gobyerno, akala mo sila na may-ari.
That's
that
how
must
they
be
feel.
corrected.
That's how they behave. Sad to say, no?
That's why we are having this program to enjoin the people to help us make these observations and bring the matter to the attention of the President and other offices on the performance of public servants who are actually beyond far. At saka yung pagbabago, dapat natin baguhin yung mali, dapat natin ituwid yung mali. That's why we have this program on pagbabago. But before we wind up, Ebs, I would like to ask our usual guest, Kagawad Saniboy,
Well, again,
for
thank
his
you.
closing statement.
Yeah, thank you. Saka, Happy New Year to everyone.
Ed,
I hope we will proceed with this pagbabago next Saturday and all the forthcoming Saturdays so that we can really develop what we need here in Zamboanga City.
of course.
Well, sa mga kasamahan ko sa organic farming dyan sa Buhay ng Kapuk, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat dyan. At sa susunod na Sabado, makinig kayo ulit dito sa programa naming Pagbabago. Good morning po.
In behalf of our fellow volunteers, we have Albert Cahayon, Atty. Tunggo Climaco, John Feliciano, Ed Ferrer, and Ed Notoraben. Itong inyong lingkod, retired Colonel Rex Mirabiti. Thank you very much for watching. Happy weekend and magandang umaga ng Sabado sa inyo lahat. Good morning.